Hello and welcome live to Pocono Raceway here for the Formula Truck League Kart Series. Round 3 here today. Racing, of course, Pocono Raceway, one of the first oval races we're going to have this season. So, going to be interesting to see how this fares for everyone. I know we did a little test race beforehand, so hopefully we can do a little bit better than that today. Got quite a professional layout going at the moment, so fingers crossed, should be going very well. Joining me today, I've got Yap Ragenvort once again joining me on stream today. Yap, an interesting one today. Oval race for the first time, obviously. What do you think could happen today?
Yeah, Jack, it's great to be here again. Yeah, it's very difficult to make a prediction about this race. If you look back at the testing race, well, that didn't look too great. So I'm hoping the guys did learn a lot, and we're in for some great racing today.
Yeah, exactly. I'm thinking the same. We've got people saying it's triangular. Yeah, that's true. It is a tri-oval. But we're still going to class it as an oval today. So yeah,
Well,
we'll.
what's going to be interesting is some guys who aren't really the quickest on road courses are being really quick on oval. So it's really interesting to see how that will play out this race.
Yeah, no, of course. Obviously, this track being a little bit harder than your standard oval, as you can't really take every corner flat. You do have to lift, and people are gaining time everywhere they're going, really, just by lifting that certain amount and gaining the traction out the corners, and just making sure that they can get the perfect amount of exit speed onto the main straights. So yeah, currently the practice record was set by Max Hamling with a 39.070, and everyone really is within a second behind that, as expected. Quite large gaps than what I was expecting, but still very close nonetheless. But yeah, we'll go to our season calendar. Round 3, of course, in the season at the moment, as you can see. Currently at Pennsylvania Pocono Raceway. Previously, we were at Sebring International in Florida, and before that, Laguna Seca at California. Coming up next, we have Wisconsin at Road America and Sonoma Raceway, which I believe will be changing, so we do need to update that at some point. But we'll keep you updated on the Formula Trout Discord. If you want to join that, link is in the description of this stream, so just make sure that you head there if you want to find out more about the kart series and any other series that we're running today. Go for our lap walkthrough then. On board with Richard Tippett, one of our drivers for today, driving for the Vermin Racing Team. A tri-oval, so as I was mentioning before, very tricky than what you would imagine to get it right. Obviously you don't want to hit the walls there, making sure you're keeping it tight. Heading down one of the longer straights here at Pocono Raceway into one of the faster left-handers here, onto the next shorter straight, making sure you're getting the perfect amount of entry speed, getting on the throttle as early as you dare onto the main straight. So we're going to head on to the track then. Currently, Martin van der Land is your leader at the moment in qualifying, but we got Nick Wu on the track at the moment. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what the times will be today.
Yeah, maybe it's good to update the viewers on how the qualifying works, because obviously we don't want any slipstreaming to appear in qualifying. So drivers go out in 3 together with enough distance between them. And Thomas Marshall spinning. He's losing a car in qualifying. He can't keep it out of the wall. So damage for him. That's a shame for him. But so basically, drivers are going 3 at a time on the track, and then all drivers have 4 hot laps available, and the quickest of those will count for the qualifying position for the race.
Yeah, unfortunately then Thomas Marshall spinning out there on one of his 3 laps, I believe these guys have in qualifying. Out in packs of 3, as Yap mentioned, and very little time to get one of their perfect laps in for the race.
Yeah, Thomas also showing that this really is a difficult track. It's quite unlike other ovals, which you only have to lift a little bit and then it's just flat out all the time. This is where you really need to shift down a gear, sometimes even 2 gears, and it makes it really difficult to, especially in the corner exit, to keep the car right.
Yeah, I did actually do a few laps myself in these cars, and on this track it is a lot difficult than you would imagine. I did lose the car myself on a few times. Might have been the setup, I'm not quite sure, but it was a little bit leery on the rear end, so
Yeah.
the fact that these guys can stick it out for a few laps is, well, hopefully for the entire race will be a fantastic sight to see.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to see how that will go. I think the one that can keep his own car out of trouble, but also stay away from trouble with others, he'll be right up there at the end of the race.
Looking at Nick Wu at the moment, 3 attempts down on his time at the moment with a 40.25. Currently in qualifying, quite a while to go yet, so it may drag on for a bit here today, but obviously we want to make sure that everyone gets an equal chance at putting in a qualifying lap with no sort of
Yeah.
draft times in between. So we want everyone to have a clean lap, no draft, just see where everyone stands in terms of their relative pace.
Yeah, Martijn van het Land actually doing a really good time. He did a 39.382. It's only 400ths of his personal best. Really strong performance, especially if you remember that you only have 4 laps to do it. And he's 6 tenths ahead of Tim Draper at the moment, so it's good time by Martijn.
Yeah, Nick Wu crossing the line there with a top speed of 411 kilometers an hour, which just over 200 miles an hour, I believe. 240, I believe it is. So incredibly quick with the current trim they're running on the cars.
Yeah,
So
but he's almost 8 tenths down on Martijn van het Land's time.
it's
I wonder where
interesting to
that
see
comes
where they're losing the time here. Maybe it's
from. 8 tenths is is a huge amount of time on this track.
yeah, it's very, very interesting. I'm not quite sure where
He's
they could be losing that time. Maybe just on corner exits themselves, just
yeah,
making sure they're keeping it tight, and just amazing how much time you can gain just by nailing those corners.
yeah. Nick Wu currently second in the championship standings. Max Hammelink, winner of the opening 2 races. He hasn't appeared yet in this qualifying, Max Hammelink. Nick Wu, who just did the 5th time so far, professional. He's second in the standings after taking P2 in the first 2 races. So it's important for him to do a good performance. He's just telling everyone he lost out. He ran out of fuel on his hot lap, so that compromised his qualifying big time.
That's unfortunate to see then. So that's our first 6 runners completing their qualifying times for today. Jannes van Dijk, one of the next 3 to come out onto the circuits. Behind him, we've got Nils Fischer and Kira Harris also joining the track.
Yeah, Kira Harris, our 11-year-old, our rookie, who did such a great race in Sebring in our first oval appearance now. And Jannes van Dijk, I guess we can call him the big favorite tonight in terms of raw speed.
Yeah, no, very, very close. Very, very close between him and Max Hamlink, of course. I think it was around 200ths of a second between those guys. So, yeah, the closest battle on track I think we can see tonight between those two.
Almost losing his car there. Possibly also throwing away a potential pole position, but he's got it going again. He can take his first pole position in his whole of his Stroud League. He's around about 2 years now, I think. I believe. Did he ever finish on the podium? I guess so. Maybe in the hybrids once, but
I'm not quite sure actually. I can't really recall, but
he isn't a regular podium finisher in Stroud League. But if I had to put money on this race, I put it on Jannes van Dijk. What do you think?
Yeah, for sure. I think it's going to be very, very close. If there's no incidents today, I reckon we could be seeing a really, really close battle between him and Max Hamlin. In fact, I could probably see Max and Jannes working together today to pull away from the pack, actually.
Well, they're not
So
teammates, of course.
yeah,
And
not
remember,
teammates, but
also have to remember that Max Hamlin has his championship to worry about,
yeah, of
which
course, yeah.
Jonas has. So Jonas has more. He can race more freely, and Max Hamlin really needs to make sure that he keeps out of trouble. So I really wonder how this is going to turn out.
No, it's going to be an interesting one, of course. Yanez at the moment placing 1/10 behind Martin Vantelan at the moment, but still
Exactly,
currently
Niels
down on
Fischer.
his time.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of nerves playing around. Jonas van Dijk losing more time now. Niels Fischer taking provisional second place. So he's faster. One more lap for Jonas van Dijk, or at least one more.
Yeah, onto the final lap with Jonas van Dijk. Then will go on board for this final lap of his qualifying. Finding a little bit of time on the entry, but losing it on the exit. That seemed to be a common occurrence here today in the qualifying session.
Yeah.
Gaining a little bit of time on the exit there.
Yeah. Cars are drifting towards the wall really quickly. Lots of understeer for the drivers, and then they lose it on the exit.
A superb final corner from Jonas van Dijk there, and it looks like it might be pole position, and it is at the moment. Provisional pole position for Jonas van Dijk. There's a little tap on the wall as he comes across the line to finish his lap.
41 thousandths quicker than Martijn van het Land on his final lap. Really well done, and he's showing that he's ready for this race, Jonas van Dijk. Niels Fischer is cancelling his hot lap. P3 now.
P3 for Niels Fischer. Looks to be backing off now, though.
Kira Harris almost improving her lap time, but not quite. P9 for her at the moment with a 40.5.
Yeah, 1.2 off, but not that far off the rest of the field, to be fair. So,
just 2/10 off.
Yeah, it's all changing the race, of course, since drivers need to keep in the draft to make up positions and catch up to the rest of the field. So we could be seeing Kira Harris in the mix during the race today.
Yeah, with 11 years old in this car, which is incredibly difficult to drive, especially on the edge, especially with the road layout that we used on Sebring, and here on the oval layout on the car, which feels completely different. It's really impressive what she's doing at the moment in the league.
Yeah, Kira Harris, our youngest driver on the grid then, coming in for P9 at the moment. Alex Cochrane about to start his first flying lap of tonight.
Yeah, we got 4 really quick drivers now on the track. It's Max Hamlin, our championship leader. He's preparing for his first hot lap. It's Alex Cochrane, who almost got a podium finish at Sebring. Always good also on ovals, which he showed in the pre-season. And same applies to Dave Southward, of course, who took that final podium position in Sebring. So let's see how this will go.
Yeah, of course. Alex actually being one of the South Star Oval winners as well. So Alex knows his way around the oval setup and quite great at making really, really quick setups for these oval cars. So we'll see how he fares today. Currently up on his best with the 39.9. So we'll see if he can find any more time here.
Yeah, it appears, by the way, that Nick Wu did an extra lap in his qualifying run, which was his quickest lap. So he has to drop down at the start of the race, which is bad news for him and his championship chances.
Yeah, that's unfortunate, of course. And obviously, no standing starts here today. We're running behind the safety car for the start today for a rolling start up to the start line. So, yeah, we'll have an official safety car for the race as well, I believe, piloted by Christoph Bose. So, yeah, we'll have full course cautions, if I can say that. Yeah. So it's going to be a good one. Hopefully, we won't have to use the safety car at all today, but if we need to, it is there. So.
Yep. Max Hamlin really doing well now. He's improving big time on his second time lap. He could take pole position with this lap already.
Yeah, it's
2.5
on
tenths
the
off.
edge. It could be pole. It's
Almost
2
2,000
thousandths
behind
of a
Jonas van Dijk.
second.
He's so
Unbelievably
close.
close.
And he's up on his time now. Losing a bit into turn 1. Winning on the exit. If he can keep this up, he's going to take pole position from Jonas van Dijk. But he's not quite there yet.
Is he going to risk the earlier throttle application for some more time here? 600ths up at the moment. That's all he needs. He only needs 2 thousandths of a second at the moment to take provisional pole. So we'll see if we can nail it out this final corner. Time slowly leaking away, but is it enough? It looks like it might be.
Yes.
As he crosses the line, there it is. Provisional pole.
14,000 quicker than Jonas van Dijk by our championship leader Max Hamling. That was a great lap by him.
Yeah, fantastic effort. Just keeping it on the limit at all times.
Alex Cochran improving to a 39.7. 4 tenths off of Max Hamling. Let's see if he can improve. No, he can't. He's slowing down now. So Alex Cochran into P6. It's Richard Tippett moves to P5. That's a great lap time by Richard Tippett.
Max about to come across the line once again. He's improved by 1.5 tenths, and that's his final lap, I believe. Up into a 39.1, which is a fantastic effort.
Yes, Max Hamling again the class of the field. It's quite surprising though. He was the class of the field on road courses, but he's also showing it on the ovals. A completely different discipline. So yeah, hats off to him.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Of course, you mentioned in the different disciplines entirely, ovals and road course. It'd be interesting to see how the drivers handle racing around these circuits. Of course, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how they race each other. Hopefully, we'll see some fantastic oval racing. We want to see some similar strats to what they do in real life. So, yeah, we'll see. Hopefully, we won't have any silly moves today. Want to see some awesome oval racing. So
yeah, it's all about patience, of course, on oval racing.
Exactly.
It's not trying to dive into every corner, trying to pass the guy in front of you. No, instead you need to work together. It's what you were saying earlier on. You were expecting Janus and Max to work together. That's what people need to do, and then use each other to go faster together. But if you do the opposite, if you go if you approach it like road course racing, then accidents are bound to happen, and you could take the whole field out with that.
Yeah, exactly. You just need to work together and trying to get the best possible draft off each other to make their way up to the top of the field. Just waiting to see if we've got any more runners at the moment, but it looks like that's the entire field qualified, actually, as we've got 13 on the leaderboard there to your left. So, yeah, that'll be the end of the session, and we'll be going in to the race very, very shortly.
Okay, heartbeat's going up in the field now. It's the first official oval race in Drought League. It's about to start.
Yeah, it's about to begin, and we'll just wait for the countdown to begin. Obviously, drivers just need to follow instructions now from Christoph Bose, the safety car driver, and the league coordinators as we wait for the race to get underway under safety car.
So just to recap, it's Max Hamling who took the pole position, obviously, with his 39.1. Jonas van Dijk in second place, which was the order in practice as well. Martijn van het Land, third place. Niels Fischer in fourth. Richard Tippett, Alex Cochran in fifth and sixth. And then Dave Southward, Tim Draper, Stefano Amadai, and Nick Wu in 10th place.
And we'll go live back to the circuit then, where we'll find ourselves on the rear of Christoph Bose, who will be leading the pack around for the warm-up lap today. Nerves will start to rise then as we make our way around.
So Jack, is it a double file start? I guess so.
Yeah, I believe it will be a double file start for today. Obviously similar to what you'd see at the Indy 500s. All the guys need to just warm their tyres up now. Of course, after sitting on the circuit, they'll need to warm them back up, as they will have cooled down by now. So, as you can see, weaving in the background, trying to work some heat into those tyres. As Christoph leads
Yeah.
him down the back straight.
Yeah, it's good to know that instead of the road courses where we have the different tire compounds, on oval racing it's just one oval compound. So there's no strategy at play in terms of that. Of course, there is strategy at play in terms of pit stops, because it's going to be a question whether people can make it with one pit stop, or whether or not they have to make another one. And in that case, they can start with less fuel, of course, and take advantage of that. So that's going to be interesting this race to see if people are going to do one stop with probably more fuel saving going on, or take it safe and go for a two-stopper.
And we are underway then at Pocono Raceway. Max Hamlet leads the way down the main straight. Jans van Dijk right behind him, then he wants to get right into that slipstream. We've got an overtake for P3 there. Nils Fischer going a bit wide out of turn 1. That's cost him a few positions. That just shows how easily you can lose positions on these type of circuits. Martin Vantan making it up to P3 with Richard Tippett right behind him.
Martijn van Land 2 seconds behind Jannes van Dijk and Max Hamling. So it looks like exactly what you predicted is happening at the moment. Jannes van Dijk and Max Hamling blasting away from the rest of the pack.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Obviously, 42 minutes to go, so it's going to be a long one for these guys.
Right. Yeah.
Of course, Kira Harris making her way up.
K-Man in trouble. He's entering the pit lane. I thought he hit the wall there.
That's
unfortunate for him. That's a really early pit stop for him. But apart from that, everyone looks to be really, really disciplined at the moment.
And it's looking good at the moment. Not as many incidents on the first lap as I thought there would be, which is a very, very good sign. So, yeah, everyone's just sort of bunching up now into the little groups, and they're all very, very close together, which is interesting to see. So we'll see if any moves happen here. Hopefully we'll see everyone working together as planned.
Yeah, they're really taking it easy, being patient, waiting for their chances in this really long race. So that's really good to see. It's only K-Man in trouble, but he has re-entered the track. So also K-Man is back into the race. So that's really good to see. Oh, trouble there. Trouble for Nick Wu. As K-Man exited the pits, Nick Wu just got a little loose and he swerved, got onto the dirty part of the track, and he's now in trouble with Kira Harris right on his tail, but he kept it just out of the wall, so good racing there.
Yeah, coming into play there. You can see Kira Harris just getting a wash of understeer coming into that corner and sending her wide. This is one of the issues that these guys will have to face tonight. Of course, if you get too close, you're going to lose all that downforce on the front of the car, as you can see by Jans van Dijk at the moment on board, just washing out wide, and the guy's losing about 2.5 to 3 seconds a lap with this with racing fuel on board as well. So that just adds up to the amount of things these guys have to manage today.
Yes, that's true. The cars are way heavier now than they are in qualifying trim. But everybody keeping it out of the wall at the moment, as Martijn van het Land has taken quite started to drive away from Richard Tippett. He's 2 seconds in front now in 3rd place, so that's a good move by Martijn van het Land.
Yeah, Martin just sort of getting into a little pocket where there's no draft from anyone and no draft that he's giving to anyone, so just driving like he would any circuit now, really, I guess. And playing on time, I guess you could say.
Everybody's settling into position right now, so it looks really calm and disciplined now. So that's impressive to see. I didn't expect it, this racing, to be honest.
All these guys are about 1 second between each other at the moment. Tim Draper being one of the closer ones, 7/10 behind Nils Fischer. The slipstream may not come into effect this far behind, but I guess we'll have to see as we head into turn 1 then.
Jannes van Dijk is keeping up with Max Hamling. We don't know how easy it is for him, or whether or not there are different race strategies, but it appears to be that Jannes van Dijk is taking it easy and just driving along with Max Hamling, staying close enough to be in his slipstream, and trying to stay out of the wall with his understeer, of course. So he did a 40.7 there, Jannes van Dijk, fastest lap of the race so far. So his race trim looks to be really strong.
Janna's really closing in now on Max
Yeah.
Hamlick, and he's actually managing to hold the car down on the lower side of the circuit in the faster corners. So he's doing a really good job of managing that the dirty air right behind Max here.
Yeah, and probably also saving a little bit of fuel, racing like this. So that's also important.
Yeah, I think that's what Janus needs to be doing at this moment in time, just saving that fuel and limiting the amount of pit stops he needs to do later on in the race.
Yeah, exactly.
And also, saving fuel also means a faster pit stop as well. So, being in this position at the moment, Max will be draining his fuel out of his car at the moment, which means a longer pit stop in the long run. So, Janus just needs to keep on the tail of Max, keeping the draft, and use as little fuel as he possibly can whilst keeping in the tow. And he should be on for a good pit stop when it comes to it.
Ooh, Tim Draper hitting the wall there. But Niels Fischer in front of him doing the same. Tim Draper passing Niels Fischer on the outside. Oh, that was but oh, Niels Fischer is in trouble. Yeah, he's in
Could
trouble.
Niels Fischer have some damage? It looks like he does.
Yes. Yeah, I believe he hit the wall, and Tim Draper did the same behind him, but Tim hit it a little bit. Yeah, that's unfortunate for Tim, for Niels Fischer, because he's losing time. He has to pit for repairs and dropping down the order there.
Yeah, it's unfortunate to see. Heading back up to the top of the field then as Niels Fischer gets his repairs for the car. Janus van Dijk still within 3 tenths, but I don't think we'll see any moves this early on in the race. These guys reaching over 400 kilometers an hour even with the race trim on, so as Janus gets closer and closer and closer.
Martijn van het Land also going sub 41s at the moment, so he's picking up the pace.
Ah, that's incredible race pace from Martin van der Land.
Look at Janus van Dijk.
And we have got a move. We have got a move for the lead. At the moment, they're side by side. And it looks like Janus is going to take the position. This is probably what Max wanted, actually.
Yeah.
This is going to play right into his hands now.
Maybe Max Hamlick even dropped down. Maybe he did it on purpose to be able to save some fuel and let Janus van Dijk pass him.
Yeah, that could be the case. That could be very well the case.
He fell down. He did a 42.0, Max Hamlick. Over a second slower than his quickest lap so far. So I believe this was an intentional move by Max Hamlick.
Yeah, smart play from Max then. If that is the case, Max now.
I believe it is because Martijn van het Land is also has closed the gap a little bit. So if this happens a little bit more often, then he might be able to join the fight up front.
Interestingly enough, it looks like Max is slowly dropping behind Janus at the moment.
He's still inside the slipstream, I guess.
On the bleeding edge. Yeah, Janus with a 40.7. Yeah. That is ridiculous race pace.
Yeah, he cranked up that turbo boost now right to the max, I guess. Maybe he's trying to use this opportunity to break away from Max Hamlick and take a little bit of risk with the engine.
Yeah, that very well could be the case. Whether Janus wants to do that.
Yeah, I believe it isn't working for him because Max Hamlick is closing in again.
Yeah, of course, not only does the engine wear turn up when you turn up the turbo, it also uses more fuel, so it's going to be a strategic one for the drivers today. Whether they use more or less turbo just depends. Might get very close to the wall there on the exit of the last corner.
Yeah, Max Hamlick improved. He did where he did a 42.0 last lap. He did a 40.8 now. His quickest lap of the race so far. So he's right up there again. It's important to know these cars have a turbo boost and you can crank it up all the way to 100%, but it will cause engine damage if you do that too long. So they have to use it strategically and be careful with it.
Tim Draper is on the rear of Alex Cochrane at the moment. One of our closer battles on track at the moment. Yes. Obviously, most of this race will be a strategic one, but at the moment we've got some close battles on the early stages. Tim Draper looking around the outside line of the last corner there, heading into the slipstream once again.
Fastest lap of the race by Martijn van het Land at the moment, Jack.
40.7, yeah, incredible pace from Martin van het Land.
He's
especially out of the draft as well. That time was set, so
He's really trying to bridge the gap and trying to get into the slipstream of Max Hamling. He has 1 more second to go, so maybe 2.
Yeah, it's certainly paying off for him at the moment. He's 2 seconds behind at the moment, but he's dropped that gap by 5 tenths of a second, which is quite a big deal. He's dropped by another 3 tenths there even into one of the corners. So maybe we had some sort of issue from Max there. There's led Martin to catch up.
Max Hamling almost, it's over a second behind Jonas van Dijk now. So if he doesn't close that gap really fast, he's going to lose the slipstream to Jonas van Dijk.
Yeah, it's getting over a second now. Max needs to find a little bit more consistency there, as Janos seems to be pumping in these very, very consistent laps.
Yeah. He's losing time. He's more and more time. I haven't seen Max Hamling touching the wall, but maybe he suffered a little bit of damage. His car looks okay, but it appears to be there's an issue. As Jonas van Dijk sets the fastest lap of the race with that. He's pushing hard. He's trying to get away from Max Hamling.
Yeah, as we look on the rear camera of Max Hamlin, then you can see Martin Vanterland slowly closing in on Max Hamlin here.
Yes.
It could be within a matter of a few minutes here that we could see Martin on the rear of Max Hamlin here.
He's just 1.7 behind.
Yeah, closing in every single lap. So we'll see how that pans out later on in the race. Alex Cochrane trying to keep his head down with Tim Draper right behind him. 5th place for Alex at the moment. Quite a good position for him. As another good position, Kira Harris made her way to the top 10 at the moment, being hunted down by Tom Marshall, who does appear to be lapped, I believe. I believe he had damage earlier on, so I don't think Thomas Marshall will be...
Thomas Marshall is on the lead lap. It was K-Man who had made this early pit stop.
Yeah, no, that's K-Man, I'm sorry, yeah. So Thomas Marshall behind K-Man there. The car behind K-Man is Thomas Marshall, who is fighting for position of Kira Harris for position 10.
Yes, you're right. Yep.
Tim Draper, the closest he's been so far, 1/10 of a second between these two. Very, very close as they head down the main straight.
Nick Wu is entering the pits. Don't know what's going on there, but it's really early.
Yeah, an early pit stop for Nick. It looks like his front wing is a tiny bit damaged there, so it could be a result of damage touching the wall.
There is damage. Yeah, you're right. Or maybe he's on a 2-stopper. That could also be the case, because it's 1/3 of the race has now passed. So he might be on a 2-stopper strategy. That could also be the case.
Yeah, it could very well be the case, but we'll see what happens here as he comes out of the pits. Tim Draper still looking to find a way around. It looks like he's going to make it this time, actually.
Yes.
Is it going to side by side? Is it going to be contact? They bang wheels on Alex Cochrane.
Oh, Alex Cochrane almost into the wall after a really daring move by Tim Draper. But Tim moved up to P5. Alex not giving up though. He wants that position back.
Oh, colossal understeer there from Alex Cochrane. It looks like that contact with Tim Draper might have cost him some front aero, which is a necessity around this circuit, especially with these slower corners in this trial build today.
It appears to be there's problems with Nick Wu. Nick Wu isn't speeding. He's not speeding up. He's losing a lot of time there after his pit stop. It's a lap down now, but there's no speed in that car.
It looks very, very understeery, doesn't it? We might be seeing our first DNF here. Is he coming back into the pits? Yeah. Oh, and he's into the wall.
No. It looks like technical problem. It looks like his steering was all over the place. So that's big trouble for our 2nd place in the championship. This is really bad news for Nick Wu.
Yeah, it's a DNF for Nick Wu there as he disconnects.
What a shame. What a shame. This plays into the cards of Max Hamling, of course. His biggest rival for the championship has been DNF'd at the moment. As Martijn van het Land is 2nd behind Max Hamling now. He's starting to get that slipstream. So that might be really interesting if Martijn van het Land gets really close to Max.
Max will start looking in his rearview mirrors, and as Martin will be rubbing his hands together as he breaches the 1 second mark and is into the slipstream. Martin pits.
This is a two-stopper for Martijn van het Land, definitely. So that's why he was that fast. He is running less fuel than the two front runners, I think.
Yeah, that would make sense. Yeah.
Move. Because it means he can leave the track. You can get back on the track on fresher tires with low fuel load again. It's going to be interesting to see.
Tim Draper also in the pits here. We didn't notice that as he's pulled in here.
He is. Yeah.
So we'll see where he comes out.
Maybe Tim is on the same. Yeah, maybe he's in the same strategy.
Oh no! Got DNF from Tim Draper.
He's out of the race.
Maybe had damage. I'm not quite sure what's happened there.
Bad news for Tim Draper. He was running so well and fighting with Alex Cochran. The first stint and passing him actually. Now out of the race.
Janus van Dijk, one of the front runners, pitting for the first time tonight.
All right. So Janus van Dijk also on a two-stopper? Question mark.
It's going to be interesting. I'm not quite sure what these guys have planned for strategies, but Max Hammerly is still out on track at the moment.
I'm on board with Martijn van het Land and see how that will appear after Janus van Dijk gets back on the track. Janus van Dijk is leaving the pits now. And let's see if he can stay in front of Martijn van het Land. Yeah.
Martin's coming down the main straight now as Janus makes his way around to the first corner. Can Martin find some more time on him here? You
have to be so careful after you... Oh, Janus van Dijk almost losing it! After he exits the pit lane and tries to go back on the racetrack, but somehow he caught the car and got it back again. But that cost him some time. So let's see what will happen to Max Hamling and how long Max Hamling can continue. Maybe he's going to try to make a one-stopper work. Because he just keeps on going.
Yeah, he's still going with Max Hamling, so interesting to see there. Because he's still pounding around the track at the moment, so maybe going for a longer sort of stint for his first run.
Yeah, or for a one-stopper. But then, in that case, he needs to do some fuel saving. We heard it's really difficult to do the race on a one-stopper. It could explain his pace, of course. It could explain why he couldn't keep up with Janus van Dijk after Janus passed him.
Yeah, that would make sense. Of course, Max not showing quite the pace that we thought he'd had coming into this, especially from qualifying. So maybe the extra fuel might have weighed him down for this one.
Dave Southward. Where's Dave Southward? He lost some positions there. Did he make a pit stop? I'm not sure.
In the case, he is up to speed already though, so I'm not quite sure what's happened there.
Maybe I saw it dropping down the order.
Mike Vanteland though is 2.5 behind Janus van Dijk's, which is about the same as what we saw last time before they pit. So,
yeah, Van Dijk way quicker though. He's 4/10 up on Janus van Dijk. So Martijn van het Land closing the gap to Janus van Dijk at the moment. He's 2 seconds down, and before the stops he was over 3 seconds down. And he's taken another 2/10 off the gap to Janus van Dijk. And we now know that they are both on similar strategies.
Yeah, now Martin may be opting for the 2-stop then tonight, but we'll have to see where he goes with that later on.
Yeah, I believe both Janus and Martijn are on a 2-stopper now.
Okay, that would be interesting to see how they play out later on. Thomas Marshall makes a move on Kira Harris as Kira Harris actually peels into the pits then for a pit stop tonight.
As Max Hamling just keeps on going. I'm really surprised if he's going to make a two-stop. I believe Max Hamling is going to try to make a one-stop work.
It's going to be interesting to see how these different strategies fare. It's very similar to the hybrid race we were commentating on last time, with all the varying strategies. Trying to keep up with them is quite a difficult task, but Nils Fischer at the moment on the back of Dave Southwood. Very, very close, these two. 0.3 of a second between them both.
Yeah, Niels Fischer did that stop early on after he hit the wall, so he can continue now. And at least he's back on the. He's not back on the lead lap yet.
Still very, very close between these two then. As we head round the final corner, we could see a move here from Niels Fischer, although it does look a little too far back at this moment in time. Flames spitting out the back of these 1999 kart series cars by by VRC modding team. Fantastic mods these. Nils just getting the exit of that corner wrong. Having to pull out there just to make sure they don't hit the wall. Oh, and a mistake from Nils Fischer backs it into the wall. It's unfortunate to see. Looks like a heavy damage for Nils Fischer there. It's going to be a long pit stop for him. As someone else pits as Nils spins.
It's going from bad to worse for Niels Fischer, unfortunately.
Yeah, not gone Nils' way today.
Thomas Marshall and Stefan Amadai also both pitting. Having no problem with Niels Fischer there spinning. They could drive around him.
Martin trying to find his way around lap traffic at the moment, it seems. Getting a little bit of understeer from the dirty air there. As Janus is starting to pull away a little bit. But Martin
he
find a way around.
Yeah, he drops back Martijn van het Land. It's a shame because he closed the gap to Janus van Dijk to 1.5 seconds now.
Yeah, I believe it's even closer than that actually. We got up to about 7/10 of a second before lap traffic.
Yeah. Kira is now letting time pass, which is is really well done by her. But it's a shame that he lost some time because there was a battle on our hands.
Yeah, you can see Martin in the background there, coming out of the first corner of the back of Janus van Dijk.
With less grip there because he was right behind Martijn van het Land there. So Max Hammelink into the pits. Max Hammelink in the pits.
Yep, this first pit stop from Max Hammelink. This could be his one and only pit stop with 21 minutes to go.
Definitely a one-stopper for him. It's half. The race is half by now at the halfway point.
As Richard Tippett also pits, a Vermin strategy seems to be shared across both of these guys today.
Yeah. Well, Alex Cochran as well. So the first three of the race pit at exactly the same lap. And now it's interesting to see what Janus van Dijk can do and how close he can get to Max Hammelink.
It's going to be interesting to see.
Alex Cochran is back on the track, but it's way too early for him. So there has to be some sort of problem for Alex Cochran. Yes, he's not speeding up.
Could it be? Misjudged? It looks like it might be a DNF here for Alex Cochran. So some sort of mistake in the pit strategy there.
Yeah, something went really wrong there in the pit.
That's unfortunate to see.
He's out of the race. End of the race for Alex Cochran after pit stop trouble. After he did a really good first half of the race, he was aiming for a podium finish there.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's a Daniel Ricciardo moment there where the tyres are not ready, I believe is the case there.
Yeah. I guess we'll hear it afterwards, hopefully from him. He will be very disappointed, and we can understand it. As Janus van Dijk retakes the lead. Janus van Dijk is now into the lead. It's Janus van Dijk first, Martijn van het Land second, and Max Hammelink in third after his pit stop, which he did way later than Janus van Dijk. The question is, can Janus van Dijk and Martijn van het Land make it to the end? Because we believe that Max Hammelink won't be stopping again. Same for Richard Tippett, he won't be stopping, but what about Janus van Dijk and Martijn van het Land? I believe they have to stop again. What do you think, Jack?
Yeah, I think that might be the case, unless these guys can pull off some sort of magical fuel strategy where they're lifting and coasting into corners and stuff and gaining that amount of fuel, but I don't think that'll be the case. It looks like we may have some low fuel two stops for those two at the front, and it looks to be the case at the moment as Max is putting in 41.5s at the moment.
Janus van Dijk losing time there with the back marker. That is Stefano Amadei, which cost Janus van Dijk quite a bit of time there. He almost ran into him there.
Yeah, on the rear of Janus, and you can see Stefano Amadei and Martin van der Laan just further back there in the white and red in forward car.
Yeah, Martijn van der Laan. He's almost a second quicker than Janus van Dijk on this lap. Janus doing 41.6 and Martijn van der Laan 40.07. So they get back to 1.1 seconds.
Yeah, and this lap could be even quicker for Martin if he isn't held up by Stefano Amadei with the draft on the back straight here. He's going to play right into his hands.
And he does.
Yeah, as he flies straight past then.
Yeah, it's also difficult for the left cars, of course, to do that nicely, that lapping. But what do you think, Jack? I think the drivers are really doing a good job there. Not doing anything stupid, driving really disciplined.
Yeah, the lap cars obviously keeping to their lines, as the guideline said, so it's really great to see those guys performing so professionally on the track at the moment. And adhering to the guidelines, which is perfect to see, and really providing some great racing tonight.
I believe that Niels Fischer is also out of the race after his pit stop crash, a pit lane accident. He's still into the pit. Maybe he's going to get back on track, but it doesn't appear so. Unfortunately for him.
Yeah, it's unfortunate to see. Kira Harris, though, looking to be catching up to Thomas Marshall at the moment, 5 tenths behind. So very, very close between these two.
Max Hemlink is losing time to Janus van Dijk and Martijn van der Laan in these laps after his pit stop. So Janus van Dijk and Martijn van der Laan doing low 40s or mid 40s even. And Max Hemlink is into the low to mid 41s. So that tells us that Janus and Martijn are lower on fuel. I guess so, because otherwise Max Hemlink would have been able to close that gap quicker.
Yeah, the gap a few laps ago was around 2 and a bit seconds, and now is up to 5 seconds. So these guys really need to stretch out this gap to. Ideally, I would like to see these guys working together to pull out this gap to Max, just to make that gap even larger than what Max would like.
But if they want to make that two-stopper work, then they really need to start working together big time.
Yeah.
Or they need some sort of a safety car phase. But I'm afraid we won't be seeing that with 16 minutes left now.
Janus van Dijk on the rear camera of his car at the moment. You can see Martin van der Laan in the background there for P2. Just storming away with it at the moment. Martin slowly keeping up though. He's not out of the woods yet. These guys ideally need to be working together when they catch up to each other. So maybe Janus could slow down. That could be on the cards. We never know. But of course, after these guys make their second pit stop, they're going to have to work together to catch back up to Max Hemlink, who appears to be on a one stop and has already completed that one stop. So if you're just joining us, this is the current situation. Kira Harris currently in a battle with Thomas Marshall for P7 in the race today. Very, very close between these two.
Martijn van der Laan is low on fuel again. He just did his personal best lap of the race with a 40.5. Quicker than Janus van Dijk, we did a 40.6. And they are over a second quicker than, almost a second quicker than Max Hemlink each lap now. So they are low on fuel, getting lower and lower.
Yeah, Max really dropping off now. This is what these two at the front really, really wanted. Yeah. So hopefully we'll see quite a big battle towards the end, as Max's tyres will, of course, be wearing out as we speak. on top of this. So the guys are towards the end when they make their secondary pit stop, they'll be rubbing their hands together.
Yeah, I believe their second stop won't be far away if they are having to make it, though, which we believe they do. Time van het Land still about 1.5 seconds behind Dennis van Dijk. He doesn't seem to be able to get into his slipstream, even though he's not far away.
Yeah, these guys keeping it very, very consistent, putting in nearly identical times every lap and keeping that gap really just the same every single lap.
Yeah, I'm really impressed by the performance of the guys out there. Driving lap after lap, really clean. There's no wall touching. They're just
Martin van Tellen comes in for a pit stop.
Ah, yeah, that's what we expected already. His second stop.
Oh,
he has trouble. He hits the wall.
Hits the wall.
He locked his rear tires. That looked like, and that's going to cost him. That's going to cost him.
Looks like a little bit of suspension damage as well.
Yeah, and there's front wing damage as well on the forward car.
Hopefully, he had the time to check those on, make the team aware that he has got the damage. Also, just to note, I think K-Man just put in the fastest lap of the race with a 40.6. I could be wrong though. I did see a purple time pop up there.
No, it's his own personal best. Janus van Dijk is the quickest so far with a 40.4.
Oh, okay. Still a very, very good effort from K-Man.
Yeah, good lap by K-Man, especially after the trouble he had already in the first lap. So Martijn van Land back on the track, but it wasn't the best.
Janus van Dijk as well also into the pits as Max Hamlin overtakes.
Yeah, this is what we expected, of course. Max Hamlin retaking the lead and not having to stop again, most probably. But I'm really interested to see how much time Martijn van Land has lost there with his trouble there and on entering the pits and hitting the pit wall. As Janus van Dijk completed his pit stop, he's now exiting the pits.
Yeah, it looks like Martin's actually lapped Martin van Tellen here, so Martin's got a hell of a lot of work to do in 11 minutes. Whether he can do that, I'm not quite sure, but we'll see.
Oh, Janus van Dijk also in trouble. He's almost spinning. He hit the grass there, exiting the pits.
Very, very sketchy exit from this pit lane, of course.
Yeah, and don't forget, he's now behind Richard Tippett and Dave Southport as well, which I believe also stopped once and will only be stopping once. So that might be pushing Janus van Dijk off the podium for this race.
Yeah, that could be the case. 11 minutes to go. It seems the two-stop may have been the wrong strategy to choose today.
Well, we shouldn't be saying that too early, of course, but because maybe the guys on one stop ran into fuel problems. Because they won't be able to go full throttle all the race.
Yeah, that's obvious, of course. Yeah, and these guys will now should be on similar to what pace we saw in qualifying, maybe a little bit slower.
Between Thomas Marshall and Kira Harris. Thomas Marshall.
Yeah, Thomas Marshall is just out of the wall. Oh, a little bit of rear damage there.
Wheels. They clipped wheels and he lost it. Oh, that was a shame.
We'll see if we've got any damage from Thomas Marshall. It doesn't appear to be that much damage on the moment. That can be visible, but of course we don't always know the true state of the damage. But Thomas Marshall looking to carry on at the moment.
Yeah, he hit the wall pretty hard there.
Alright, this is the moment we've been waiting for then. See what kind of pace Janus van Dijk and Martin van Tellen can get out of these newly fresh tyres. So yeah, it's around the second corner then into coming up now the final corner of the circuit.
Yeah, Janus van Dijk is already below the 41, so pace looks good.
As he heads across the line, then Janus van Dijk sitting at 40.8. That might not be enough, as Max was actually putting in 41.2s recently, and now 40.9 from Max Hamlin.
Yeah, he's speeding up. Martijn van Land is in a bit of trouble though. He did a 41.5, so losing time there, and he's also further behind Janus van Dijk. Yeah, he's now 9 seconds behind Janus van Dijk, Martijn van Land. So that that moment there, right there in the pit lane, slowing down, losing it, and touching the pit wall, cost him dearly.
Yeah, of course, yeah. A little bit of a moment for Martin Vantel in the pits. It cost him quite a lot of time on the track. Of course, you want to make your pit stops as quick as possible, and any incidents that happen in the pit stop is dramatically increased on track. So Max Hamlin still pulling in the quite fast laps for the amount of laps those tyres have done. Not really any close battles on track at the moment. Kira Harris on the rear of Richard Tippett at the moment. As you can see in the background there, little red tint of the 888 VDT Racing car. But yeah, with 8 minutes to go, Max Hamlin is your leader for the Pocono race for tonight. Our first oval race of the series. Max crossed the line with 384 kilometers an hour. Really, really quick, these cars in this oval trim. V8s, of course. Brutal cars. And Martin Vantel comes into the pits for some reason. Looks like he might be DNFing. I'm not quite sure what's happened here, unless he's doing some sort of damage repair. He's coming back out again.
That was not planned, I guess. This is his third stop.
Yeah, this could be for some damage repair. Might have touched a wall somewhere.
Yeah.
Or maybe it was for the damage that he made in the pit stop and just didn't have the time to check it when he came into the pits.
Yeah. His lap times weren't really great after that second stop, so maybe that was the case indeed.
Back onto the circuit for Martin Vantel is still P8, not the worst result ever, but for Martin at the moment, just needs to get his head down and see if he can catch up any more time. Of course, it's not over till it's over. So yeah, Martin just needs to keep his head down. Just hope that he can catch up.
Yes, you never know what happens.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, anything can happen in the last few stages, and positions can be made up.
As Kira Harris is in front of Jannes van Dijk, right? Am I seeing this correct?
Yeah, Kira Harris in front of Jannes van Dijk, I believe. And on the tail of Martin Vantel, is that everything?
Yeah, but Martijn van Land is a few laps down, so he has to let Kira pass. Kira Harris in 5th place. I'm really impressed.
I know, valiant effort from Kira Harris. These guys at VDT doing the one-stop as the same with Vermin Racing, and Dave Southwood as well, I think, did a one-stop as well.
Yeah. Dave Southwood in 2nd place.
Fantastic effort from him.
Yeah, he was 3rd in Sebring, of course. Doing a personal best lap time with a 40.8 at the moment. So yeah, he picked the right strategy and stayed out of trouble. 5 minutes and 40 seconds left. So yeah, well done to Dave so far. He has to keep it out of the wall, of course, in the final 5 minutes. As Max Hamlin, if it goes like this, he took the right strategy. He's way in front of everybody else, including his main rival Jannes van Dijk. He looks to make it 3 in a row.
Yeah, Max didn't look to have the race pace on Jannes van Dijk at the start of this race, but he did have the strategy game on point.
Yeah,
and that's what matters in oval racing. As you can see, Jannes now in P6 after the 2-stop decision. Again, you never really know what strategy is quickest until you do a full race like today, and it seems the 1-stop has paid off for everyone who has opted for it.
Yeah, it actually makes his first stint even more impressive, looking back, by Max Hamlin, because he got passed by Jannes van Dijk, but we didn't know that he was running way more fuel at that moment.
And Kira Harris is in the pits at the moment, so it did appear that Kira did have a second pit stop planned for tonight, which is
yes, but she's leaving the pits already, so that doesn't appear to be a really long stop.
You'll see if Thomas Marshall is on the current lap of Kira Harris. I'm not quite
Oh,
sure if he is.
Kira seems to be a lap in front. So Thomas Marshall is going to overtake her, but she's still a lap ahead.
Here we go.
Or isn't she? No, she isn't. Or is she?
And it does appear that Thomas Marshall is unlapping himself at the moment, so
Yeah.
Kira
you're right.
is still in a solid P6 at the moment. Dave Southwood losing a position there. I'm not quite sure what's
I think
happened.
he made a late pit stop.
Which means Stefano Amode takes P2 in the race.
Is he really in second place? This
He's
is
in
a
second
historical
place.
proud moment. If he, I don't know if he has to stop again. But
This is
Stefano
gonna be
Amadei is
interesting.
second place.
Jans van Dijk moves back up to P4. Richard Tippett in P3. Jans will want to get his head down now. He wants to catch Richard Tippett. You can see him just in the distance up ahead, going around that final bend of the circuit.
Yeah, we haven't seen Stefano Amadei doing really. We haven't seen him a lot in the race, but he is indeed in second place. This is going to be a hell of a party after the race if he's going to finish on the podium.
Yeah, I would like to have an interview with him after the race is all done.
Yeah.
To get his actual reaction
Let's
from the race.
let's not do a commentator's curse there.
Yeah. Touch wood, he'll finish in this position. We want to see Stefano in a podium position today.
Martijn van het Land close behind K-Man at the moment. Just a few seconds between the two.
Oh, mine!
Oh, and K-Man
Just
Martin
gets it wrong.
he hit the wall there.
Yeah, Martin just I think just not estimating correctly the amount of speed to take into that corner there.
Yep, and there's
Maybe
more
the
damage
extra fuel,
to his car. Janus van Dijk passing him. Janus van Dijk up to 4th place now. But is it going to be enough for podium position for him? On his
40.5 from Janus there.
Yeah, he's got the lap time, but he doesn't have the position, unfortunately, for him. And it appears he is missing another chance on a podium finish. But still, 4th place is also a very good result. But Stefano Amadei and Richard Tippett on 2nd place and 3rd place. Those guys are going wild if it stays like this.
Richard actually closing in at the moment on Stefano Amode, but with 1 minute 40 to go, only a few laps left remaining in the race. So we'll see if we can see another position change, but I'm at the moment looking to be like Stefano Amode will hold on to P2. Touch wood, of course, don't want to curse it.
Yeah, Richards is just about 4 seconds behind him, so it's 3 seconds actually, so it's really close between those two.
Yeah, Richard's having the edge on race pace here at the moment. 41.4 for Stefano Amode, but it's a 40.7 from Richard Tippett there.
Yeah, he's 7/10 a lap faster than Stefano Amadei, who's really going to be nervous behind the steering wheel. He has this podium position in his hands. He only has to keep it out of the wall, but well, his heartbeat will be sky high at the moment.
You can see Richard there in the background as you look back from the Nova racing car.
Yeah, as Janus van Dijk did a 40.460 on the last lap, so he's flying, but yeah, it's just too little too late, as he's 12 seconds behind Richard Tippett at the moment. With 26 seconds to go, so Max Hamlink on his last lap, or maybe one more, what do you think?
We'll have a look. It looks like it may be the final lap. I can't quite tell at the moment, but...
Janus van Dijk flying 40.1.
40.1 from Janus van Dijk, a fastest lap in the last few stages of the race.
And
here we go.
Yeah, and the race is...
It's on the final lap! That must have been 0.001 of a second. Does Max think the race is over?
It appears to be so, but there's one more lap. But is there fuel enough? That's going to be the big question.
Max lifting. I'm pretty sure he's got the time on Stefano Amode here.
Max didn't expect that by the looks of things. He expected to be later on the...
All these guys having to slow down with the extra fuel that they've got.
To save fuel.
Yeah, they have to save it.
Saving now.
And here we go then.
He did enough. And there is
across
Max
the
Hamlin.
line, and Max Hamlin.
He won the third race in succession after 2 wins on road courses. Also a dominating victory by Max Hamlin on the first oval race of the season.
First oval win then for Max Hamlin. Stefano Modi.
He's finishing second
to finish P2 today.
Stefano Amidei just crossing the finish line and 1.2 seconds in front of Rich Tippett. The two finish in second place and third place. Congratulations to those two for their first podium finishes in Trout League history. Great to see. Jannes van Dijk in P4. Yeah, what could have been for him? He got the pace, he had the pace. He also had the, not the best strategy, unfortunately, as the one-stop strategy was the best.
There we go, that was the final lap, actually. I think Richard's actually overtaken Stefano. I'm not quite sure what's happened here.
They crossed the line already, but they were left down. So I believe that was. Well, we'll see in the final results.
We'll have to see
that's really
what the results say there. But yeah, I'm pretty sure Max crossed the line after it said final lap. He crossed the line when it said 0, did another lap, and then crossed the line again. But it didn't appear to recognized it.
Yeah, but you're right. Maybe there was one more lap then after that.
Could have been the case, but from our end, it looked like the race had finished well before that. But I guess we'll have to see in the final results. But as it shows on screen, then Richard Tippett has finished P2.
Yes,
Stefano Modi in P3, and Max Hamlin has indeed won the race tonight with Jannes van Dijk.
Look at that after the race.
Of course,
Dave Southworth, Jannes van Dijk indeed P4, Dave Southworth P5, Kira Harris with an impressive 6th place finish. Thomas Marshall in 7th, Martijn van het Land in P8 by the looks of things, in front of K-Man, who finished in 9th place, but I'm not sure if that's correct.
Yeah, we'll have to have a look at the final results. You can, of course, look at the results on our own Formula Trout League results grid that you can see on one of our Google Sheets layouts that we've got set up for the league. You can find that in the FAQ section, of course. And, of course, you can have a look on our official Straka link that will be found at the top of the IndyCar Series chat. We're going to see if we've got any interviewees for tonight, then, for tonight's race. And at the moment, we've got a few lined up. Alex Cochrane and Stefano Modi. We're going to drag Stefano Modi here in just a second.
Yeah, I want to hear from him. I want to hear him. It's going to be crazy.
It's the one we've been waiting for. Stefano.
Yeah, there he is.
Hello. Hi.
What a result from you.
I don't know what my result was. Something weird happened at the end.
Yeah, we noticed that as well.
Podium finish. Yeah. Anyway, whether it's P2 or P3, you finished on the podium, mate.
I was freaking out at the end because Richard behind me was closing in every lap. Oh man.
Yeah, we said on the stream, on the commentary, his heartbeat must be going wild there because he's got this podium in his hands.
Yeah, for like the last 5 minutes. Yes, thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. This is my home race at Pocono, so this feels pretty good.
Yeah,
just when you needed it.
Is this your first podium in Trout League?
Yes, this is my first podium in Trout League. I can't believe it. I think it really came down to strategy. I did a one-stop, so I was carrying a lot of fuel, and I just made the tires last.
Yeah, we noticed the one-stop being really superior tonight, with all the old two-stop guys losing a dramatic amount of time in the later stages. So yeah, really good job on that strategy, and a fantastic result from you today.
Yes, thank you.
Did you have to do fuel saving on the one-stopper or not at all?
I wasn't. Yeah, a little bit. I mean, by the end, I could only do like one lap left, I think. So throughout the race, I was turning the turbo up and down, and I was afraid might have been using it too much, so I would turn it down for a couple laps, save a bit. Because I had a good buffer in front and behind me throughout the race, so it's not like I was fighting people the whole race.
Well, a huge congratulations from us, Stefano. An American on the podium on this oval race. Yeah, it's really fitting. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So, Stefano Modi then, one of our podium finishers for tonight. Coming in now, we've
Really
got
happy
Alex
for him.
Cochrane. Alex, unfortunate race for you then today. Unfortunate to see you stopping in during the middle of the race. Was there some sort of pit stop error there?
Yeah, I'm furious really. There's no one really at fault, but I need to be angry for no reason. I pulled into the pits and I don't know what went wrong, but the car just decided to do a barrel roll
Oh,
as I entered the pit lane and slid on the roof, well, on the roll hoop, right down the pit lane, and then yeah, it put me back in my pit box. But it wasn't really fair to continue because I gained a massive advantage. I don't know if you noticed, but I actually came out in first place.
yeah, we saw that. Oh, so that's why you pulled off.
Yeah, I would have continued if I was a lap down. However, whatever it decided to do, it put me in first position. That obviously wasn't fair.
Well, that's fair play. Fair play from you, Alex.
Yeah, it was unfortunate to see you actually ended up DNFing in the end because, of course, you have some really good experience in oval racing and you've been really quick in the past. So, yeah, unfortunate to see you at DNF today, but hopefully in the next few races we'll see a resurgence from you.
Yeah, for sure. It's really frustrating seeing where people around me finished, but it's just one of them.
Keep the chin up. You had bad luck at Sebring as well. Bad luck here as well, but you've got the pace. So keep chin up, and the results will come next races, I'm sure.
Fingers crossed. Thanks for streaming.
Cheers, Alex. So yeah, Alex Cochrane then unfortunately DNFing from tonight's race with an unfortunate pit entry issue with his car there. Coming up next, our race winner, Max Hamlin. Max, quite a strategic one tonight, and as I'm sure you're aware, the Annas went for the 2-stop tonight and obviously didn't play off, and the 1-stop just seemed to work tonight.
Yeah, I saw that. That was an odd choice, I think, is the best way to put it.
Yeah, he lost quite a lot of time doing the 2-stop, so we were a bit shocked to see how much time they actually lost, and we thought we'd see like some sort of quali pace towards the end, but it was actually quite similar to what pace you were doing towards the end there.
I ended up with 0 fuel at the end, so like
yeah,
I don't know, it just didn't really make a lot of sense, did it?
Yeah, congratulations on the win, Max. But were you concerned when you were passed by Jens van Dijk before the first stop?
At the beginning, I was confused. I think is the best way to put it, because like I saw him in practice, and I knew he's a fast guy. Obviously, like he was very close to my times in practice. So I thought, okay, maybe he legitimately is that fast. And so at that point, I just in my head it was either he is that fast and I can't match that, so I'll just settle for P2, or he's on the 2-stop, so I'll just take it easy and see how it pans out, and that's what I did, and yeah, ended up doing a lot of lifting and coasting towards the end, and it worked out for me.
Yeah, impressive. So you kept your head cool and stayed out of trouble. Did you have any moments during the race that you clipped the wall or close to
nothing. I was going at a very relaxed pace. Like I said, I was doing lots of lifting and coasting, doing low turbo stuff just to make the fuel last, because it ended up being pretty close. I had like 4 or 5 liters left, I think, when I crossed.
Yeah.
But so that was the plan all along, and it worked out pretty well.
Yeah, 3 races, 3 victories. No one can touch you, Max. What do you think?
Yeah, next race you're joining, yeah? Hopefully.
I'm not sure.
Well, I hope you will, because else it's gonna get a bit boring in here pretty fast.
All right. Who knows?
But regardless, thank you for commentating, guys. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no, I was just about to point out another flawlessly ran race, especially for an oval race as well. Everyone's sort of keeping it professional on the track as well. So especially with the lap traffic, I saw people sticking to the lines and at some points just pulling over to let the faster guys past.
Yeah, it's great to see that the effort we put in with making the rules clear and trying to educate people on what to do and what not to do. It's great to see that it worked out. I think there were still some casualties, but I think we still had like 8 or 13 people finish, which, I mean, if you compare that to the test race we had, that's
yeah, I think we had similar numbers DNFing in road courses. So I'd take that as a win personally.
Yeah, that's perfectly great.
I agree.
So yeah, thank you for organising tonight's race, and congratulations on winning it as well. And,
thank you.
We'll hopefully see you in the next few rounds, especially ovals to come.
Yeah, you will. Road America is looking pretty spicy. I hope we have a bigger grid for that one, because I think that's a track lots of people will know and enjoy.
Yeah, that's going to be a popular one. So thanks, Max, and we'll see you in the next one.
Yep, thanks to you guys as well. Thank you. Bye bye.
See you. Bye bye.
So Max Hamilton, then tonight's winner and organizer of tonight's race, did a fantastic job organising and getting everyone ready for tonight's race, especially with the qualifying, the obscure sort of layout we had tonight, and it's worked flawlessly tonight, without any hitches at all. So
Nope.
great to see. Coming up next,
Are you going to pull Richard Tippett in here?
yeah, we'll get Richard in. Richard coming up
Yeah.
next then, one of our podium finishers. Richard,
Hey,
fantastic effort from you tonight.
Yeah, bit of a weird one though, really. Pit stops wise, don't know what happened there.
Oh, you took a podium finish in Trout League. That's what happened.
Yeah, about that. I came into the pits in second behind Max, and then I came out and I was second, still running second for ages and ages and ages. And then the next time I looked, it said I was fourth, which I couldn't quite work out.
Yeah, I think there was some anomalies going on because I remember Alex, we just had an interview with him and he said something about some weird pit stop thing that happened to him where he came out in first position. So there could be something wrong with the track there or
Yeah.
some sort of track related issue. But yeah, other than that, you still managed to pull off a podium in the race today.
Yeah, well, I had the pace as well, which was pretty good. One of the first times I've actually had pace, I think.
I know, it's great to see you on
Yeah,
pace.
well done. Everybody around me and everybody raced.
Yeah, congratulations, Richard. Really well done.
Thanks.
And
thanks, yeah.
Max Verhamlink, we expected him on the podium, of course, but to see you and Stefan Amadei on podium is a great surprise, and we're really happy for you.
Thanks, guys, and did a good job again.
Yeah, cheers, Richard, and hope to see you in the next round. Richard Tippett, then. That was our final interview of tonight. Coming up next on the kart series at Formula Trout League, we got Road America, as Max mentioned actually in his interview. Wisconsin coming at you 2 weeks from now, same day, same time. You'll find us there. Same stream as well. You'll find us here at Formula Trout League on Twitch and on YouTube as well. You can watch live replays of both on YouTube, on our Twitch as well. So yeah, I guess thanks yet for joining me tonight, and
Yes.
yeah, it's been a fantastic one.
Yeah, it was a great oval race. So now heading back to the road courses, and curious to see what happens.
Yeah, for the next few races, we'll be having a few road course races, and I think the next oval race, if you're waiting for the next one of those, will be at Japan. Although I do believe that might be changing, so we'll have to put a TBC on that one. But the main one that won't be changing at all is right at the end of the season, where we'll be going to Indiana for the Indianapolis 250, the biggest one that I will imagine will have the biggest grid out as well, as I think a lot of teams are holding back for that one. So that's going to be a big one to see. And yeah, so thank you for joining us tonight here from the Trout League, and we'll see you again next time.
See you then. Bye bye.